Yes, so welcome to Vasilis Garden, folks. I'm out on the island here. I've named this Leros. Actually, no, Lipso. It's smaller than Leros. These are the 12 islands of Greece, folks. Right near the borders of Turkey, or on, the shores of Turkey, about 1 kilometre away. Well, this one is in the middle of Lethbridge in our dam here, and the dam itself, just come out to have a quick look at it. It has filled up, it literally filled up. You can see the speargrass straight out there in the middle of the water, what seems like the middle. Well, that was probably only about 30 centimetres deep in the past, where I could walk out there. Well, I'm going to hope it drains out now so I can take it out, because that stuff's going to spread everywhere. It's gone to flower already, and that's the border there. Well, that's not even the border. The border is actually a little bit further here, this way, where the water edge used to be. So you can see how much it's creeped up to the right there, past the speargrass. And if it fills up any more, another 30 or 40 centimetres, we're in trouble. It's going to go over the banks there. But again, that's not a problem here. This is not a problem. The problems are everywhere else. The farmers who actually, their livelihood's been taken away with all this rain we've had. The amount of water they've got sitting in their farmlands where they can't get out there. Literally can't get out there. And even if it stops raining, like tomorrow, let's say it just stops tomorrow, like my dam here, this will take months for it to subside. There's so much water, the water table level is so high, there's water still running in from the higher parts of our property here. So it's got a natural grade coming into here. That's my dam. And this is just a feature. So you can imagine what's going on out there for those farmers who are, are water stricken. They're drowning in water. Their grounds are like slurry. And that means their plant life, their plant material, their soil has combined together and just turned into muck. So by the time they get out there to clean that up, it'll be a year. So imagine that, a year from today. If you live in suburbia, in the inner cities, you would not have any idea of how severe this problem is that we're going through at the moment, with the amount of water that we've copping continuously. We're lucky the way the property's been developed here on my side here. I'm okay. We're going to go out into the veggie garden and show you what that looks like. The high winds we can't control. That's quite damaging to plants, especially delicate plants like cucumbers. We'll see how that's going. But as far as the farmers again, my heart goes out to them, and they're going to struggle. And don't think for a minute it's not going to hit you. It's not going to affect you. It's going to hit the table, the kitchen table, the pantry. Not just your fresh produce, because a lot of the stuff that grows out there, like grains and that, go into production, into a produce as far as foods that are prepared in packages and things like that. So yeah, prices are going to go up. The letter said, when I was joking around about a month ago, 2 months ago, maybe a bit longer, $12 a head. Well, get ready for it. I'm calling it now. I reckon it's going to go back up to $5, $6, $7 at least. And I'm talking about the chemically induced, not the organic ones. The organic ones you're not going to be able to buy. You're not going to be able to afford them. I don't know how I started. I was just going to talk about a little bit of water here, and I went into the rant about the poor farmers. Anyway, let's go check out the veggie garden and see what's going on over there. Come on puppies, come on. This is what happens. Look at this, the moat's back. Where did that pot come from? The extent of my damage, folks, one plastic pot's blown over the tomato. Oh, look at this. Oh, you poor thing. Are you okay? Push it back in like that. Tighten you up a bit more at the top. Geez, if that's the extent of my damage, I've got away scot-free. Let's have a quick look around before I speak too much. Healthy tomatoes. Seriously healthy looking. I've got to spit on them. Look at that. Look how good that is looking. Wow. Impressive, really impressive. Strong flowers on it as well. You got to think about covering your tomatoes, and not just with plastic, maybe some bird netting, the wildlife bird netting. It really makes a difference to the health of the plant, that's for sure, because it does reduce a little bit of the wind. I'm not saying it's going to stop the wind completely, but it does work. So it does cut a little bit of the sunlight and the cold, because last night it got to minus one. It's ridiculous. Today, at about 2 o'clock, when I checked the thermometer, it was only about 4 or 5 degrees, and it felt like 2 or something like that. It was ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So, this is probably one of the worst springs, and I reckon summers we're going to have for a long time. Anyway, let's go further out and see what else is going on. Right, let's check out the cucumbers. Get out of my wife. They're gone. They're gone to heaven. These two are good still. They're not really pushing on. They're starting to show some growth. A little bit tight there. I reckon they need a bit of bubble wrap around them, but these two here, they've got eaten all the leaves off. There's no photosynthesizing going on here, nothing. They're just sitting there, and it's nowhere near hot enough for them to be able to grow anymore. So they're going to get pulled out and get replaced. Yep, lost a couple there. How the bubble wrap's going, eh? These are the bubble plants. Got my cucumber. Honestly, this is not the location to be growing cucumbers. So I didn't even get the bloody clip for this. I was meant to get a clip for this to put it on here. But you know what, with this cold weather, actually we might just do that there. This cold weather, look, the bubble wrap's holding up pretty well. This cold weather's going to give them a hard time, it really is. I've got a lot of messages coming through from folks who've been planting, you know, been growing fruit and veggies for family and friends, and now they're down to just supplying enough produce for themselves. That's how bad it's been out there for people trying to grow their own. But don't despair, don't give up. Think of it this way, you may not be able to grow 50 tomatoes, but you'll be able to grow 50 lettuce head, because this sort of weather's perfect for lettuce. It'll just keep growing. You get a little bit of hot weather one day and plenty of rain the next, perfect for leafy greens. They're holding up pretty well. Bubble wrap hasn't blown away. Don't know if it's UV stabilised, but I reckon it'll last a good year. The Pak Choi's bolted. Doesn't matter. They were going to do that anyway. They're past their use by date. This one's fallen over, but keep your eyes on the tomatoes. Have a close look at them. Even with this crazy weather, this is going to go. I'll just leave it there for now. Cos lettuce is doing well. These are still holding up. This is holding up. Our raised beds, not watering them. The sun's watering them. Well, the rain is. But they're holding up really well. Carrots are starting to take off now. You can see they've taken their roots well. You know, considering how bad it's been out there, this is still pretty good. Don't mind all this. This is my seed harvesting area. Talk about Jack and the Beanstalk, eh? How high are these? They're nuts. And we've got plenty coming on. I've left a couple of good ones. Where are they? Here? No, there's a bigger one somewhere. I left a big pod. Always look for the biggest pod. And it's not always at the top, it's near the bottom normally. Oh, there's some good, oh, it could be that one. Oh, look at this. All right, tape tool's got to come out. Oh, can you just hold that for a second like that for a second? Just keep it there. That's it. Are you still? I didn't realise you're still waiting. Oh, thank you very much. I was only joking about that, by the way. Tape tool. Oh, Lord, look at this. Really? Smashed. Now, folks, how bad does that look? You know, I'm laughing about it. I'm going to eat it all now. That's all that's going to happen. But imagine this now. This is only 2 square metres. Oh, sorry, 2 by 2, 4 square metres. Now imagine this on the grand scale and underwater. That's what we're talking about, our farmlands out there. We're talking destruction to you know, a crazy degree, unimaginable level. Drought, fire, tolerant. You can handle that. They can handle that. But when it comes to rain and wet, you know, water-sogged and underwater farmlands, that's far worse. It's so much harder for the farmers to be able to get out there and go and start hoeing into the grounds again, because it's just mud. It's just going to be slurry. By the time that dries away, we're going to be into winter again. It's going to start raining. You know, there's not much you can do for them. Support them where you can, whoever you know, wherever they are. Go to the farm gates and shop there if you can. Shop local, so important. Family businesses, so you can understand who they are, where they grow it, how it's grown. You know what's coming in. If you can't grow it yourself, but you can grow it yourself. You know you can grow it yourself. It's up to you if you want to grow it yourself. You know that. It's up to you whether you want to get up there and grab a handful of seeds and just sprinkle them in the ground and let them grow. Do you know how much a packet of lettuce seeds cost? $2, 100 seeds, works out to 20 cents a seed. Not even, have I got that right? No, 10 cents, $2, yeah, no, 2 cents. 2 cents a seed. See, I can't even do my sums. 2 cents a seed of a lettuce head. Let's make it 20 cents because you need some soil in a pot and some compost. 20 cents a seed, that's 100 seeds. You can do that for $2, whatever it is, 20 bucks all up. Go to the supermarkets and pay the same money. You're only going to get about 5 lettuce heads or 10 lettuce heads. And if they're healthy for you. Yeah, I know the supermarkets don't like me, not my problem. start looking after the farmers, start giving them some rebates there because they need it. They're really going to need it. We need to back them all up. You know, at the same time, we've got to look after our own hip pocket and start growing our own. This destruction, anyway, this is going to happen anyway because they were too tall already. We're talking silver beet here that was up to the sky like that. Plenty of good leaves on them. Going to harvest this. I'm going to saute that. Maybe some more chicken nuggets. We're talking about the chicken livers, and eat fresh. Overall, the garden's holding up really well, folks. It's holding up really well. I've harvested my pak choys. You can see I've got some gaps in here. I've taken out some spring onions and cut them to the ground. Successive planting. Don't try and plant everything at once, otherwise you're going to have to share it with the family and friends. There's nothing wrong with that. But otherwise, get back into your garden or get into a garden or get yourself some pots. I can't stress how important that is that we start collecting seeds and start growing our own so we can have something fresh to eat, even if it's just lettuce. Give it a go today. Check out our website, vasilisgarden.com, for all the gardening essentials you need, even the tape tool. And have a wonderful day. From me, Vasili, Maresi.